Fancy seeing you here. I'm your host, Allie Ray, a serial entrepreneur and mom who loves building brands and raising babies. This is a podcast about being on brand and in season in every facet of your life. Each week, we dive into topics around business and brand development while sprinkling some hard-earned life lessons in there too. So if you love a good brand and a good breakdown, buckle up and come along with me as I sort of seamlessly switch between major life roles in an attempt to fulfill all the life dreams of a Type A Enneagram 3 millennial small business owner who wants to help other entrepreneurs and raise good humans. This is the Allie Ray Haney Show. We are back for the recap of day 2 of the Escape Conference. I know I am totally off of my normal timeline, but not only did I get over the fatigue of hosting the Escape Conference, I then got a nasty cold, which you can probably still hear. So thank you in advance for giving me grace. But we actually recorded the Night 2 Escape podcast on the floor of the conference venue. So enjoy that. And I think at this point we were like kind of devolving into insanity. So I hope that this episode makes sense and also enjoy Kassie's commentary throughout the episode.
Hello and welcome to the Escape Conference Night 2 recap. It is 12:30 in the morning and we are wrapping things that are intended for tomorrow before we go to bed, and we're recapping all at once. Everybody say hi.
Hi.
Claire's super excited that we're doing this. She was cozy in her blueberry beanbag chairs and was reminded that we still had to do this piece. So what we're talking about is wrapping books for our blind date with a book section of our experience gallery. Claire's really good at wrapping, and we had tasked her with this a couple days prior, but didn't have Scotch tape. We only had packing tape. So we were like, oh, we'll just do it at the conference. And then this is us settling in for the night and then looking over and seeing the tote and being like, oh crap, we didn't do that yet. So, okay, let's get back to it. And now she's mad at us, but she's pretending not to be as best she can.
She really is. I even offered her caffeine and then asked her if she was sure she wanted to pull the trigger.
But then you like took it back. You had like backsies. You're like, you want me to make you a coffee? I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And she goes, you really want to pull that trigger now? And I'm like, I guess not. I guess not.
I heard her say,
I'll do your damn books without it.
If you don't notice, I need you to rewind and listen to Allie wheezing, like just laughing so hard she is wheezing in the background. I heard her say, do you really want to pull that trigger now? And I thought that she meant wrapping the books because I had been downstairs.
Oh, no,
so I thought she was like, are you sure?
Oh, no. She was sure as shit that would get done.
Do you want a root beer? Do you want a root beer?
I'm gonna keep pushing you. But I'm not gonna give you any caffeine or tools to succeed.
That's basically what.
But she's gonna offer it. She's gonna offer
you're gonna work, but without any uppers, no speed to get you through.
Okay, so
I want you to feel how painful it is.
Claire is clearly exhausted. It is night 2. We have one more full day. Claire has been.
Shit, we have one more full day.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, there's still one more full day.
Say you're tired without saying you're tired. Just dwelling on the fact that you're not done yet. I think that's a sign. Claire has today been catering manager, hospitality manager, book wrapper. But I will say, at tonight's social, summer camp social, we had a live band, and I looked over on multiple occasions, and the joy it made me to see Claire, like, sitting in a chair, like, tapping her foot to the music, just chilling. Like, I was like, she finally had a moment to just, like, enjoy a piece of it, and that felt good for me. I hope it felt good for you.
Oh, yeah, it felt really good, yeah.
I really loved it.
It has been really difficult how... Like, no one expected the catering to be such a pain in the ass.
I don't know how often we're going to talk about how much the catering app that we used was a fail, but if I need to reiterate it again, DM me for details, but do not do what we did. Do not trust a website that has catering in the name, because it was not catering. It was glorified DoorDash.
Like
Dinner, at least tonight, like
it was the first time
we got relief tonight.
everyone was
You
like
got
it
relief.
was on time. It was easy.
They set it
Everyone
up.
got their dinner. Like it was the most smooth it's been.
So I will say, like, that's
Unexpectedly trying every time. That's why I asked you. I was like, "What fresh hell is awaiting me tomorrow for breakfast?" Because like everything has been so unexpectedly.
I just really expected catering.
So you would think.
Catering implies that the service we got tonight,
Right.
was the service we were going to get all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I expected
Right.
the warmers. I expected all of it.
We're like, the work is off of us. We
Yeah.
just have to
Yeah.
serve it, like hand it out.
But we got no perks. Like, it would have been better to order from DoorDash. Like, it was,
Yeah.
it's been the same amount of ease.
I'd
I
rather
think.
pull out that toaster and pop toast myself. Like, fuck it. It would have been easier to grab some Eggos and do it myself. Like, it.
There were multiple offers from multiple people this morning to go out and get ingredients to make dinner or make breakfast ourselves. Fawn was
Why? My
I
mom
can make
was-
200 pancakes in 20 minutes.
My mom was like, I could whip up some eggs.
I think she did whip up some. I don't know.
No, she didn't. I was like, Mom, we cannot have the liability of you cooking. Like,
She said, I can make biscuits and gravy.
she can, and it's so bomb. It would have been
it's
so
true.
good. My mom's
It's true.
biscuits and gravy is so good. And I thought about it because she really could. It would have been done in 15 minutes, and everybody would have had so much food.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking about the liability. Like, because like, insider tip, like, we had everybody sign waivers about the catering, but it said that the liability lied on the restaurant,
caterer.
like, not us. So I couldn't justify it. Can you tell how desperately I wanted to justify it? Because if my mom can do anything, she can cook for an army, and it'll all be so good, and like fresh salads and all the things. Like, I wish I could have done it. And speaking of catering, we had the attendees fill out a questionnaire. I overlooked 2 major freaking allergies, and I feel
But I
terrible
think it's
about
nice
that.
that, like-
I do pride myself on having like hot, filling food for people with allergies at my events. Like, when I've done style shoots in the past, like, that's been something I've really focused on.
Special attention.
And it all started because of our friend Hannah Morgan, who has allergies, and we went to a style shoot with her, and they gave her like a salad with like no dressing on it, and I just remember, like, at that point I committed.
Being like,
We went
"That's
to
nice."
Chick-fil-A.
Well, that day because they'd given her a salad with no dressing. Like,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, we
And
had
I
to be
just-
inconvenienced.
I've been so diligent about it, and I don't know how I missed it. I don't know if I looked at it before they filled it out. Like, I don't know what happened, but I'm really disappointed in myself about that, because that is something that I'm hyper fixated on.
Exactly.
And
Special care.
It was, their allergies were listed on their registration forms and their final questionnaires. Obviously the speakers didn't fill out the registration forms, but I just mean, like, I asked twice.
Right,
And I
because
still
is
missed
so-
it, and it's so frustrating.
Right.
Because I don't ever want somebody's experience to be compromised because of their food allergies. Like, that sucks.
Yeah,
So
something you don't have control over.
yeah, so that was super frustrating for me. So I went through and like reevaluated it. They were both very understanding and very happy with. I mean, at least they told me they were happy. This still just like gets me going, because I still hate that I missed that, but you live and you learn, and I can assure you it'll never happen again. So start for the morning. If you listen to night 1, you know that there was a hellacious hailstorm super late at night, which meant in the morning everything was soaked. We had yoga arrive promptly at 7, and we had nowhere to go because I was too tired to figure out a contingency plan at 7 in the morning, and the courtyard is astroturf, and it was like sopping. So we we stood on the sidewalk, and people didn't really complain. Like, nobody seemed to be bothered. And I got a couple cool pictures, which I was happy about.
I remember hearing Cassie's alarm go off at 6:45, and I propped my head up on my hand to look at her to ask her if she was getting up. I don't know why, because obviously the alarm just went off. But I'm pretty sure mid-sentence I stopped talking and fell back asleep with my head propped on my hand.
Take a moment to hear all the ASMR of the paper and the tape, because Claire is still going to town on wrapping those books. Yeah, we had a bigger turnout than I thought. I didn't think that we would have that many people there.
I think about half the people in attendance, both speakers and attendees came.
Yeah, and I appreciated that. I liked seeing everybody, and people kind of trickled in, and I stood in the back because I knew that, like, we were expecting breakfast. Like, there was a lot still moving. So I wanted to be able to pop in and pop out. So, that was nice. And then breakfast got delivered. It was much more simplified than what we had experienced at dinner the night before. However, it was far less food than what we anticipated. So we had ordered, it said it, one thing that I ordered said that it served 20, and it was frittatas and sandwiches, but they cut the sandwiches in half. So in my opinion, if you're going to say it served a full sandwich feeds a person. So we should have gotten 10 full sandwiches and then enough frittata to serve another 10. Like that. And then I had supplemented with like hash browns and donuts. So I knew that we were like a couple short, and I was like, okay, we can cut the frittata smaller. And like I anticipated being full sandwiches. Yeah. Because even if we would have done half sandwiches, that would have been 20 pieces, and it would have been plenty for everybody because we had like 21 or whatever. So anyway, that did not happen, and we called the manager and ordered another round of sandwiches because it was not enough food, and it really started to make us panic. So we went from having like a surplus of food at the dinner at night one to not enough food for breakfast the next day. Outside of that, like they were very accommodating, and they recovered. They brought another round of sandwiches, didn't charge us for that, which was really gracious. I was very grateful for that. And we did breakfast was room service style. How did that go for you guys? Because from the outsider's perspective, it looked like it went really smoothly.
I was relatively smoothly.
Yeah, I would say so.
We ended up including like a little dash of orange juice on there.
Yeah.
That was the only like challenging part, was not spilling while we were delivering.
Yeah.
And then the dynamic specifically of those people that have their own suites that don't have a common area, we were like, well, we don't want to leave it like outside.
Yeah, that was kind of.
So did you knock on the door? Like what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where did you wake people up? Do you think, or was that?
There was one woman that I think she was not ready for breakfast. There was one. It was the one right below us.
Okay, so overall smooth.
Yeah, and I think everyone was like very impressed with the level of. They weren't expecting breakfast in their rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something that Claire and I talked about like very early on. I do think we could improve on that. And
like I would say in the choices for how we serve, I think there's still a way to make it like dedicated. That's not the right word.
Well, I remembered, and you reminded me of it once we got here. I had just completely forgotten about it, but you had found these like door hangers where they could pick what they wanted and like the time they wanted it, and that would have given us the freedom to like not feel like everybody needed to be served at the same time.
Yeah, or they know when it's coming.
But honestly, I will say, I think we can all agree that overall, we are not caterers. And we should not be serving up, like keeping everything hot. Like we do not, like we can't do it.
100%.
Like it's something that we thought it would be easy, but it's not.
No, yeah, it was still difficult. Even with like not a huge conference where there's like hundreds of people.
Right.
And with extras and hands, it It's not.
Right.
We don't have the ability. We are not a catering company. We're not a hotel.
Right.
It is impossible. And I still think, I was thinking about this, like, I think it would, there's a way to provide for our attendees what we want to provide without killing ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the trays, I think we talked about it in the episode.
The warming trays.
No, I'm talking about their
the orange
lunch trays.
Oh.
I think that's a neat thing. If we had those personalized or something like that, and we get pink and orange or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I was talking to your mom about it. She had a kind of a fun thing of like, it's like going back to school. Like, we're going to get our education in business. You bring your school lunch, like your lunch tray, and they show up every morning, and we do buffet style. And it's like, they go through and get their stuff, sit down.
Yeah, I think the key for us, if we're going to do anything like, as far as catering, I don't mean the conference, but like, I think the warming trays, because like, think about dinner tonight. Like, that sat out forever, and everything was still hot when we ate it. Like,
oh yeah, but that was provided.
That was
by them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, but the funny thing, like, my mom has all of those catering trays. Like, she has the warming domes. Like I just thought that
it was a misnomer for sure.
Yeah, like when you're ordering from something that serves 20, you expect to have keeping it warm facilitated. Like, I didn't anticipate that. Like, whenever you were like, so for example, like this morning when you were running breakfast, I imagined everything being in warmers, and you're like making 3 or 4 at a time, and then you come back and you make the next 3 or 4, and everything is still hot in the in-between. And that just didn't happen.
I guess I'm trying to think of like what scenario the caterers thought they were bringing that into. Again, what scenario would it fit?
I think, so we gave 30-minute buffer across the board. And I think that easy catering is made to immediately be served upon arrival. But the Japanese food, we never would have been able to do that. So lunch was the tacos, and it was lunch, and we had agreed, like, whatever it comes in is what we're serving it in. But we couldn't even keep that hot. So, like,
and that's the thing is that
it was like almost cold upon arrival. Like it.
Yeah. And those extra efforts of like taking
it's
stuff
exhausting
out of the containers
and put them right back.
Yeah. Put it right back in.
Yeah.
And I do think the guy who brought the talk today, he said something along the lines of, we do taco bars and fajita bars. And I was like, yeah, it's not a bad idea.
We were just trying not to do buffet. Like, we were trying to make it in it.
Right. And I do think like
we were trying to make it really nice.
And it wasn't. Like, it backfired.
And
okay, are you feeling the pain that we felt from catering yet? Because here we are again, just can't stop talking about it. And I also want to say that we also had a lot of food waste with that breakfast. So when Claire went to clear all the rooms, like, most people didn't touch anything. So having those door hangers or just like more curated meals to know what people wanted to eat would have been in our best interest for sure. Then tonight, this was the only thing that we like legitimately had catered, like, and they came in, they were so nice. They set up the warming trays, it was build your own burgers with Caesar salad, and it was the simplest meal that we had, but the best meal so far. Like, it was
absolutely.
And all done. The books are done. Wow, Claire, you really pulled it out.
Thank
and
you.
Allie, I loved the how you were writing along the scene. Where's the one? I love that she's
cute.
like switching it all up. So lunch, tacos. Oh, we haven't even talked about like the actual conference part of it. So Cheval, our keynote, had a family emergency. So she ended up presenting virtually. And because of the hailstorm, the Wi-Fi went out. We quite literally cannot make this shit up. Like, what is happening? And Claire just landed right back into her blueberry bubble. So the Wi-Fi went out. So we had a little bit of like a pivot moment where we just had everybody get on their own personal hotspots, which seemed like the majority had their own. And then I don't know how, why, or when, but Allie's computer was the only computer in the fucking building that would connect to the Wi-Fi.
Had like a monopoly on.
So we were able to stream Cheval's keynote without interruption, except for the time that I forgot that it was.
I snapped at you too.
It was we were on my hotspot, and I came in here to talk to you with my phone in my pocket, like an idiot.
And it was like, good. And I was like, what's happening? Good. And then I ran in here like a bat out of hell, and I was like, Kassie, get back in here. We need your hotspot.
She's like, you can't, I didn't feel like you snapped me off. I was like, oh shit, like I forgot it was in my pocket. I didn't forget it was in my pocket. I just forgot that it was a hotspot. So, and then we had the audio. We couldn't get it to come through the fucking TVs. And I did everything. Like,
everything right. Like, it should have worked.
Everything was reading right, and it just was not working. However, like, my computer audio was oddly very loud. Like, loud enough for everybody to hear. And it went well. It was super interactive. This group has been really great about asking questions. You know, like sometimes it's just like dead space. Like, does anybody have any questions? We haven't experienced that at all. Like, if anything, we've had to cut people off from continuing to ask questions.
Yeah.
So that we can like move on to the next thing, which I think is a great problem to have. We've unpacked this a little bit more, and we may talk about this in the next episode, but we do wish now that we had just given ourselves the grace to say, like, let's keep going for 30 more minutes, because the educational pieces were so impactful, and there were a lot of questions. We wish we would have had a little bit more flexibility in that schedule. So after Keynote, we went into Masterclass. And Masterclass was the Duo Collective, and they spoke about integrate
Abby and Courtney.
Yeah, Abby and Courtney, they're great. They are so fun and so like pretty much up for anything and just super entertaining to hang out with. And they also know their shit. And it was about integrating AI into your business and kind of like not being afraid of it, but also teaching you like how to protect yourself in all of it too.
One of my favorite lines that they said was that AI should be your intern, not your CMO.
Yeah.
So that was a good perspective to give. Abby specializes in SEO, and Courtney specializes in branding. So they have a organic marketing agency, and it was just really cool to finally get to meet them in real life.
Yeah, it was really good. The biggest takeaway, not true. One of the takeaways from today is that night one, we were like amped up, right? Like we were kicking off, but all of our speakers were prepping, and I respect it so much and I appreciate it because they took it easy night one, and we were like, oh, is everybody sad? Like it was just like, it was really low key, but we learned tonight, which we'll get to, it was just because like they were taking it easy as they headed into like a big day for them and a big presentation for them.
One of the best things about the masterclasses is that they were able to present their lesson in quotation marks for an hour, and then for the last 30 minutes of the class, the attendees, if they didn't already have their laptops out taking notes, they pulled it out and started working through a workbook that Abby and Courtney had created for everyone. And then they were able to start to like put in prompts into ChatGPT to teach the AI.
To teach the intern.
Chad, how to be their, sounding.
We're speaking as if that actually happened. We know now that they ran out of time towards the end, but we were all collectively pulled away due to one of our speakers having a family emergency. So this is where at the end we kind of collectively decided that we should have just moved lunch a little bit to give them more time to implement, because everybody was asking questions during the presentation. So when it got the implementation time, time had run out. So that's what we talk about, like when I mentioned wanting to extend and have a little bit more flexibility in the schedule.
I named my
ChatGPT Chad a long time ago. So I mentioned it, and now everybody's like, oh, Chad. Chad. So so the sequence of events was pretty steady all morning, like into the afternoon, well into the afternoon. So after Masterclass, we broke for lunch, had tacos. Like I said, we built in a 30-minute buffer, but hindsight, we never should have done that because the food needed to be in people's hands as soon as it arrived here, for any possibility of it being warm. Oh my gosh, we're talking about the food again. I'm so over it. After lunch, we headed across to another common area, and it was the Jungalow Suite. And Allie had done a really good job. And I don't know, Claire, did you help set that up too? Mm-hmm. So Allie and Claire set up the chairs for the panels and for everybody to sit. And that was much more like retreat vibe, like everybody sitting on couches and bean bags and hanging out. And it went for so long that we added an extra 30 minutes, like, because we ended up combining the panels. And then it went over 10 minutes up. So it essentially went over 40 minutes than what the original plan was. But I've said this a lot. Allie's probably annoyed, or not annoyed, but just has heard it so much. But my husband, Mark, he always says, like, the best time to leave vacation is when you're still having a good time. And that's what it felt like was happening all day today. Like, we could have stayed and everybody would have been happy to stay, but it was nice to, like, cut it off when we were still having, like, a really fluid conversation and it wasn't pulling teeth.
Twice I, like, when Abby was up in the front doing the Masterclass, I looked at her and I, like, kind of tapped my wrists, like, not in a mean way, just like, okay, lunch is ready, gotta get rolling. And then I did the same thing to Angelica, kind of, like, did the eye contact nod thing just to, like, you know, keep us all on the same page. And it was nice that we ended on that high, but those conversations were able to continue on outside of the panel or outside of the Masterclass. And they did,
like, literally until bed.
Yes,
like, people were, like, at the social with a computer out, like,
doing live coaching sessions.
Yeah, it was wild.
And it's really a beautiful thing to see that come to life, because when Kassie and I were planning this, we said we wanted to kind of cut the hierarchy of typical educational events, because it feels so often that speakers are put on this pedestal, and not that they shouldn't be based off of their knowledge, but we wanted to break down the barriers between peer and student and teacher, and that's exactly what was happening. Yeah, like, there's a very free exchange of information.
Everything has been really cool to see. I mean, I know we did this, right? Like, I know this is our doing, but it's been really cool to see it. I think that we have I've started thinking about, like, what the after action questionnaires are going to look like. Like, what are they going to say? Like, I'm starting to feel, like, the nerves of that, because it has felt so good for us that I hope that like, I got ripped apart after Creatively Gathered. Like, ripped apart. Like, it was bad. So, but I knew it was bad too. Like, I knew that and to me, I feel like the food has been the hardest part.
I agree.
And I don't know how that's going. I don't know what the attendees have experienced. We've not heard any chatter at all. I was hearing chatter at Creatively Gathered while it was actively happening. So I knew it was coming, but it still was like, oh, damn, you wrote whole 3 paragraphs to just tell me how much of a shitbag I am. Like, and this is, and they had paid, like, $195 to be there. Like, so, like, it was a lot. And it was a lot to, like, I had to recover from that. Like, it took me a long time to be like, I'm super glad that I knew myself well enough in this moment to know that the after action reports were going to impact me, because I have a really great team, and Allie and Claire took those on for me, because it was really hard, like, to know that those were on the other side. So build yourself a good team, because when you have that in place, if there's something that, like, just doesn't bring you joy and can actually be really stressful, they can take that on for you. So that I'm grateful for that. Shit happens, like, and do a lot of self-reflection. So I've started to feel that like trigger of like, oh, like a little PTSD of like,
but like different mindset to think. Yeah, I feel like that actually was a pretty good first year.
I'm kind of like searching.
Like,
I've been like kind of searching for like what could they say bad. I feel like I'm like bracing for impact a little bit, but I'm not having much luck finding it.
And again,
we just have like a really awesome group of people.
Yeah,
like they have been something that has stuck out to me on social media and resharing everything is that almost every single person when they post, they say something about the details. Like they say something about like how thoughtful things have been and how smooth things have been. So we're not seeing negativity anywhere really, and that like makes me nervous.
Exactly. like just waiting for the shoe to drop. You're like, what? When it's unexpected.
I think that's funny because I'm the opposite of that. It's like we've taken the test and now we just wait to see the results. Like the hard part for me is the test.
Oh, so like day to day is the hard part for you?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. The day to day is like I'm cruising. Like I feel good in the day to day.
Exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, which I think we could just like let's put it on a t-shirt.
Can we be honest and be like, like we can tell. Like, what? Watching you two.
That we're opposite. I thought she was like, oh yeah, we can tell the day to day is hard for you.
Well, I mean, okay, so I stopped you today and I was like, are you okay? Because like when you're not, you've done a great job like interacting with attendees and like doing all that, but like as soon as you walk out of a room, your energy changes. Like I could like you and I try, and as soon as I bring it up, you snap out of it. But like I have to bring it up because it's on your face.
Sorry, I had PTSD. I thought it was the hate
the air just kicked on and Allie's eyes got wide as an owl's and she was like, what was that? It's just there. But yeah, so we I think that you and I have done well communicating like through the stress and like rolling through stuff. Like we've spent a year learning how to communicate with each other and not being afraid to communicate with each other, which has been really helpful. We also welcomed in like 2 people who know me very well and don't really know you at all. And then 1 person that doesn't really know anybody. So it's been a lot. There's 5 of us who are all go-getters and doers. So I think we've managed the team really well. Like there's been like I said, like Claire, I've noticed you, like you're tired and you're not yourself. So like being like, I can sit down, like just stop. Like because some of this stuff, we will be the only people that would know if it's saying that we're the only people that are going to know while we actively talk about it for a podcast episode is something that my fatigue brain did not process in the moment.
I think our team is close enough to get the vibes off each other, be like,
right, like she needs a minute.
Seems, exactly. And I also think, like you said, that we have cultivated a relationship enough that, I mean, we've been this way,
right? And
then I feel like I've gotten, and Allie has gotten this way with me and your mom, and me with your mom and Allie,
right?
Us together.
Everybody's like learning
that, like. When stuff happen, I feel like we are all pretty much like and moving on. Like it's
I was
just
gonna say, I was going to say keep it moving.
Yeah, it's not. Someone might be tired or stressed or like kind of nervous about what's coming next, and maybe the way they say something or how whatever, or not even say something. Maybe it's just their demeanor, and I think for the most part we are like. Okay, it happened. I'm moving on. Like I'm unfazed, not in the way of like
that I don't care
exactly, but
in a way that like we're all dealing with all the things. That
and I know that that's not a reflection of necessarily that's not a commentary on me per se,
right?
Or like they want the best for this conference,
just like I do.
Same so like whatever, we all just keep going.
Like it's the things like when we're tired and we're staying up late and we're doing all the things and were like a lot of physical labor. Like
right.
And then,
right.
Okay, so all that happens and we're handling all of that, right?
Right.
And then the dryer won't dry the sheets.
Oh, yeah, it's a small shit.
And everybody freaks out about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And you're like we oh my God!
We literally assembled a swing today, like no problem. Yeah. But because the dryer wouldn't dry the sheets, everybody freaked out.
Everyone's like, God.
It's like,
damn it!
Like we're doing our best. Like we can't. It's the thing we can't control.
Right.
Like everybody. You're.
And then you get in the mentality of can't fucking win.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Come on.
Really? Honestly?
Well, and I think that like there were. I mean, I caught myself a couple times too. Like I would be walking right, and I would take 2 steps, and then somebody on the left would be like, "Hey, can you do this over here?" Like, "Hey, can you?" And we were all doing it to each other, but I felt myself being like, damn it, like just let me get one thing done before I move to the next. I am confident that there are still things left undone because of the process of us just like pulling each other left and right. So that still stands. Trying to finish one task before starting another. Top priority for Escape 2025.
Okay, 1 second. Hold, please.
Well, and Claire texted me and said, "Can you go check on the sheets?" And I got stopped before I got to the sheets. And when I got to the sheets, the only reason I made it to the sheets, the only reason I made it to the sheets is because the person that was going to be sleeping in that bed walked out of the room holding all of her clothes, and she was like, "What bed am I staying in?
Where am I going?"
And I was like, oh my God, I haven't made it to the sheets yet. And I walk in and Claire was making the bed. So like she had intercepted the sheets. And, like,
it was like, never mind, I got it. Yeah. Because it was, but it was just
like,
to get to it.
But that's like that's been what it has been. And instead of me walking in, like typically in not a high paced environment, I would have walked in and been like, Claire, I'm so sorry that I didn't make it to the sheets.
Right, yeah.
But I just about faced and walked out and went and did whatever I was on my way to whatever I had intended to do prior to that. Like,
right, exactly. Because there's like an unspoken understanding. You know, it's just like
nobody's mad at anybody. That. Like we're just getting
it honestly feels like brings me back to my waitressing days where you have like this like rotating list of things that you need to do, and it's like cyclical, right? But also you have things that like get stuck in the middle of the cycle and break it. Yeah. And that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I was never a waitress, and that does not sound pleasant at all. Like I don't want to have to do that ever.
Well, that's what we're doing, so okay.
Yeah, so, and I think that like so the conference it's really 2 full days, like check-in, whatever, so 2.5 days, whatever you want to call it. And we've learned a lot, but we won't see the fruits of that labor until next year. Because like, what will we do differently? Like, we're not if this was like a 2-week vacation, that would be one thing where we like, oh well, next week we'll do it differently. But like, there's not enough turnaround to change anything.
Right.
Like you're just in it. Like, so we're fighting to get to the finish line for like the catering. Like, oh my gosh, enough about the catering, Kassie. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it.
Did we talk about the panel yet?
No, we haven't talked about the panel yet.
I loved the panel.
I did too.
So Angelica is our moderator.
Let's give a hard shout out to our MC, Angelica.
Yeah, she did amazing. And
I really wish you could have been in there because it was really cool.
Oh,
that was like the closest to a retreat vibe that we got so far, because the Keynote and Masterclass were at conference tables, so they were like sitting and looking at a projector screen type of thing. But we had like, soft seating, and the just overall environment of the room itself was very warm, welcoming,
like
inviting.
Laid back. Yeah.
Right. So we did have all of the panelists and Angelica, our moderator, up there in front, and she kind of like not fired questions at us, but prompted us with questions. And then I guess in a typical, probably bigger scale panel, because she has like a multitude of experience of doing other bigger events, but it's sort of a portion at the beginning where the moderator is asking questions to the specific panelists, and then the latter portion is an open Q&A. But it was almost fluid enough.
It was so organic that there was no open Q&A. It was just, she would start with a question and there would be a follow-up from the attendees. And something that, the thing that I loved most about the panel, and I told Allie this earlier, Allie and I were both on the panel. So we were looking at everybody that was there. And you could not tell who was a speaker and who was an attendee because the duo who had done a masterclass, so
literally hours before.
Yeah, hours before, had the most questions at the panel. So it was cool to like everybody blended together, and it felt like what we wanted it to feel like, and it looked like we wanted it to look. And Angelica.
And so, are you saying it wasn't rigid? Of like
No.
question, answer, move on. Like it almost pinballed between MC,
Yes.
panel, attendees, back to panel, back to MC.
There's
but like it just kind of went.
One single awkward pause.
No.
Yeah.
In an hour and 40 minutes.
That's
of
incredible.
discussion.
And it could have continued going.
We could have kept going.
Yeah.
Like easily.
That's awesome.
And Angelica was really good about refocusing. So Allie got hammered in the beginning. Like it started with branding, and it was like question after question because Angelica would ask a question, an attendee would have a follow up, and then the next question was about branding again. So, but you felt it getting heavy because like after like 3 or 4, I mean, you had like.
Yeah. Well, I kept thinking she was about to transition to the next topic.
And it would be another branding question.
Well, we have one more branding question.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
But as soon as she felt it, she's really good at like sensing the space.
Yeah.
And she would like be like, speaking up, there were great segues. Like she'd be like, oh, it's, since you mentioned that, let's talk about meta ads and like bringing in Jenny into it and things like that.
It's so interesting to me. I asked her how she started her business, and she was telling me, like she went to bigger events and saw other moderators and was like, what are they doing? Like, this feels disjointed, and I can do a better job than that. So she started her own moderating and MC business, and she said there was a really distinct balance, for lack of a better word, of like being prepared but not overly prepared and being able to read the room. Like she specifically mentioned that, unrelated to this conversation, and she said it's really something that you have to grow into as a moderator, being confident enough to be able to play off the room.
She does a really good job at that.
Did so well at that.
Yeah, she did a really good job. And in knowing like when to talk and when not to talk. Like she let the room lead the way, and it was really cool. Yeah. And I appreciate her being here, because I think that we would have handled it, but it wouldn't have been as like professional feeling. It felt like legit.
Yeah, it did.
I did tell Allie something that I am feeling, and something that I felt in the styled sheet space for a while. Like this will be very familiar. We created this for like our ideal client is us. All of these people here are experiencing, like, we created this for us, but we are not in a position like to take notes, to like experience it in a way that like I can go back and revisit. Like, I know we had a great panel, but like I wasn't able to like write down the tips and tricks that were spoken about. So I kind of wish that I wouldn't have. I felt kind of like awkward if I would have had a notepad, but in hindsight I wish I would have just had a notepad and a pen, like, and been writing stuff down, because like Melissa and Jenny, like, they were both just like really strong, and Mai-Kee talking about podcasts. I mean, the two of us, but like I know your shit, like you know my shit. It was really cool to hear from the three of them, and
it's similar like what you're saying with the duo, who were speakers and experts in their field, quote unquote.
Right.
And it was hard to differentiate them from the attendees, because they were also asking you guys a bunch of questions and learning. So you guys, even though you're on the panel and had your own expertise in your areas, you were learning from the other people on the panel. And it's like, man, let me write that down.
It really was.
Yeah.
And like Allie has used like Jenny's services, so she was able to speak like as a client on Jenny's behalf. And we talked a lot about like Jenny's presence online.
Yeah.
And then at the end, one of our attendees almost got like a mini hot seat. Our perspective on the panel now was still, it was amazing. I don't want to take anything away from that. However, we do realize that the louder people, myself included, took a lot more space than the quieter panelists. And we wish that there would have been more of a balance. So that is a hot tip coming from behind the curtain a little bit. Then we had a long break, the longest break we've had, and it was so well received by everybody, like including you guys. Like, it was just slower paced, like maybe not a break, but like slower paced. Like,
we were able to
breathe.
Work in, well, yeah, breathe. But that was the time that we had worked in for our attendees and speakers to get some updated headshots, and it was really fun to see people like doing a wardrobe change, coming out and striking a bunch of poses. And the headshot backdrop that we've been using, I actually made with my dad, and it's on wheels so that we can choose two different color. They can choose whether they want blue or white, and by the end, people were breaking the ice and like
just flipping it around
and they got multiple headshots with different backdrops to be able to
different outfits, like
and different outfits. Yeah,
And
people
some
were
brought items,
props.
I thought, yeah, exactly. Thank you.
And like the value that could continue to like ripple effect through their business is.
Right. We just got our galleries back, and I can double down on the fact that the headshots are amazing. So it's exciting to prepare those, to send those out, and everybody looks so professional, and the backdrop was amazing. I loved every minute of it. Well, and I appreciated, and I said again, but I don't think I've said it here. We talked about it earlier. Like, we sent out attire guidelines. And
attire, ATTIRE.
Yeah. And everybody took it so seriously, and in the best way. Like, nobody overdid it, nobody underdid it. Like, everybody blended together. Like, we were all on point. And that was the same with the headshots. Like, one attendee was like, I need a LinkedIn profile picture. And it was like so deliberate. Like, she didn't just walk in like, oh, let me smile at the camera.
Right.
Like, she was like, I need XYZ.
Yeah.
And I love that.
To be able to fill a need.
Yeah. So after that, we kind of, everybody started getting ready for the evening event, which was our summer camp. And this was my favorite night so far. Like, I know we've only had one other night, but this is
tonight better than last night.
This was my favorite part so far. Yeah. Like, the decorations were cool. Like, it felt nostalgic, like summer camp. Like, we knocked it out of the park. It was really cool. We had a live band who when we were recording last night's recap at almost 2 a.m, I found their DM that they were available and responded. And when I woke up the next morning, she had responded to say that she was available, and they were amazing and so friendly. And we also had Kyla, and she's a hair and makeup artist, and she came and braided hair, and it was just like a fun little quirky thing, and people got into it, and it was silly, and everybody had drinks, and like we said, like, the speakers had fulfilled their obligations, so they were letting loose a little bit more too. We had a beautiful swing as our backdrop with a step and repeat of our Escape the Blank like sub logo, and it was just really cool. Like, I just loved everything about it.
It was a great night,
and like everything was on theme. So we actually have like these bright red picnic tables, and I think we talked about the tablecloths yesterday. Plan D that we went with. And then tonight we just ended up ripping the tablecloths off and using the red picnic tables because that was the vibe.
That was one of the, I think, like, a really good decision. Like, it really did. It impacted the vibe in a good way.
Yeah. And then the attendees had, attendees and speakers had fanny packs waiting for them with personalized gifts inside, and little mini Stanley glasses inside their fanny packs, like the old like rope bracelets and fake tattoos to put on, like, that were Escape Conference themed. And so it was really thorough, really well thought out. And after dinner we were able to do a networking portion where we did
but before that we sent everybody up for a friend of ours makes macarons, and she made s'mores macarons, so we had a s'mores and coffee break. And we sent everybody up to the rooftop patio and like conference space so that we could reset the room for speed, or reset the outside for speed networking. So go ahead.
speed networking was honestly one of my favorite things, because I haven't had a chance to like sit and talk in depth with all of the attendees, and not that a 3-minute speed dating, conversation is that in depth, but I learned something new about every single person that I spoke with.
Yeah.
Including Danny, including you.
Including me. You learned that elephants are my spirit animal.
Elephants are Cassie's spirit animal. Now me and the rest of the world knows.
I will double down on this. I freaking love elephants. They are my spirit animal. I love everything about them.
But it was just a really fun event that I think opened up a lot of new connections. And I think it just says something about our preparation and our curation of the events that went so smoothly.
I just want to say, like, we should be really proud of ourselves. And I'll, like, put that out into the universe. The things that were in our brain are working in real life.
So I was like, I'm always the one that wants to be, and Kassie too, but in different ways, wants to be over-prepared.
What's about to come is Allie and I having a tiff over her giving me a compliment and me being like, you're just trying to be nice. Let's be real. So ready, set, go.
And so
I do not want to be over-prepared. Don't try to get, like, I know you're trying to give me a compliment like we were in that together, but like, I am a fly by the seat of my pants. You make me prepared.
No, that's not true. You just said your attention to detail. Like, you were upset with yourself that you didn't catch the allergies.
Okay, that's one thing. But, like, I am down. Anyway, go ahead. I appreciate the compliment.
I'm trying to be kind.
I am disorganized. I know you are. And I appreciate it. But you keep me in line for sure. When it comes to everybody else's projects, totally organized. When it comes to my own, Allie is the one that keeps me on track, and I very much appreciate that. And maybe she has seen some growth in me, because maybe she's just rubbing off on me, and that's why she can see that I suddenly have this keen attention to detail.
I made little like fireside chat cards that had prompts on them, so they grabbed the card when they went to go sit down and found their numbered seat. And by the end, because you can obviously hear the conversations like next to you, I don't think anyone was using the card.
No, not by the end, huh?
Like, it was a great jumping point, which is exactly the purpose of it. But by the end, like, the cards were being left at the spot, and everybody else was moving. Yeah. So I really
the funniest thing that I found is that we were in a room of entrepreneurs. Like, we were in a room of people who handle their business day in, day out, every day. Allie agonized over the breakdown of rotations.
Oh God.
And
so
like, she had her husband involved to like try to figure out how to do it.
Chad involved.
Like ChatGPT, like all of it. And she just couldn't figure it out. And I asked her a couple times, like, do you want me to look at it? And she was like, no, I'll figure it out. And then finally she was like, I need a second pair of eyes. I can't figure this out. So I went to Google.
And immediately found the answer.
I did. But it was on a like a Math Geeks, like Reddit, like a subreddit of Math Geeks. I want to be clear that I am not declaring it Math Geeks. It was literally called like mathgeeks.org or something. So let's just get that straight. And because somebody had asked, like, how do we, because in traditional speed dating, only one side of the table needs to rotate, because you want to date the other people. You don't care who's on your side. But in this scenario, you want to see everybody. And literally there were like 3 or 4 responses that were like, X to the 10th power plus Y and B will get you your answer. And then there was a sub comment, and it just said, don't move one person. I don't know how it works, but it does. And we were driving to Florida, and I wrote it all out, and it really does like check everybody off. So I'm going into this like so confident. We leave one person seated, everybody else rotates, and we'll all see each other. All of these, like, they have to be to a level type A. Like, we're all in a space where like we have to handle things. They were like, this isn't going to work. We're not going to see each other. Like, why am I skipping a person? Because like when you went down the first time, you skipped every other person because you would see them when they were on the other side of the table. And so it was funny to like, everybody was doubting us. Everybody, like, they were like, this isn't going to work. But like, why am I just skipped her. Like, there was so much. And I was like, I know this is going to work. Like, sit down. Like, I know this is going to... And then when they got to the other side of the table, they were like, oh, shit, it's working. Like, I told you. Like, but it was funny to just, like, see these people being
was
like...
problem solving.
They were like, what? No, we got to do it. And I'm like, sit down. Like, we got it. Like, we agonize over this. We got it. So, and it was funny to, like, see them be like, oh, you were right. Like, it became, like, the running joke of, like, oh, now I see. Like, they were like, why is this working? Like, I don't know why it's working, but it is. Like,
it's X to the 10th power.
Yeah, exactly. So we did cut it short. I will say 24 rotations is a lot, or like 23. Like, that's a lot of minutes to get through, and we knew that coming in.
The thing I think might have made a difference, but it would also been a challenge in other ways, was we originally had said after 12 rotations, after halfway through, we were going to have a break. But we didn't have that break. Had we had that break, though...
It would have gone longer.
No, I think that we wouldn't have ever gotten back in the right seats.
Oh, no.
Because they weren't actually numbered.
Exactly. And so when you were upstairs with the coffee and the macarons, I looked at Claire and I was like, we don't have numbers for the chairs. Like, I don't know how we overlooked that, but we had numbers on the fireside chat cards.
But the thing is, I've been thinking about this, and I was like, even if they take a card, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be in a specific seat.
We were just trying to do that to get them placed for the first time.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it didn't matter.
Right.
But we were overthinking that.
Yep.
And we should have just said 11 people sit on this side, 11 people sit on the other side.
Yeah.
And then, like, this person don't move. Like, we didn't have to... It's like the... not to, like, throw back, but at the Creatively Gathered, we agonized over the rotations of each styled shoot, like, each setup. And it boiled down to everybody should have got 2 minutes at everything and rotated, and we would have been done. But we overthought it, and it bit us in the ass. Yeah, so I just think, like, overall, we probably overthought that one a little bit. I think because we had agonized over the rotations so hard that we were like, oh, this is going to be so complicated, and then we made it complicated. But in the end, like I said, I was saying, like, I started to feel like a lull. Like, people were getting kind of tired after 20, like, I think we made it through, like, 17 rotations. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like 16 or 17.
I loved it so much that I was like, I could go all night.
You could have gone all night. But and something that started happening for me is, like, the live music had arrived and the hair braider, and they were just sitting there looking at us, essentially. Yeah. Like, there was...
Oh, I was so in it, I didn't even notice.
Oh, really?
Other than Jolene, I could not. I was, like, trying to read lips. I was, like, staring at Abby's mouth.
I was so into Jolene. I was like, let's do this.
I kept trying to make eye contact with you because I didn't know if that was a test check for the musicians or not. And I was like, I honestly think that it was in an effort to, like, move us along. I don't know. I don't know.
But I loved it. I was like, oh, I'm ready for some live music. Like, I was so ready for the social, like, I was over it. And then as soon as, it was actually Jenny who I made eye contact with, I was like, do we want to keep going? And Jenny goes, I could be done. I was like,
I appreciate the fact that she
felt comfortable enough to say that.
Yeah. I could be done. Yeah. And I can just see her saying that in such, like, a calm,
and it was like so
matter
nice.
Of fact.
And I was like, okay, that's all I need to hear. Like,
Kassie was already also done.
Yeah, I was also done. Something funny, I can't remember if we talked about this offline or on here last night, but when we didn't have live music scheduled, we knew the hair braider was coming, and we were like, what is this going to look like if there's no live music? It's going to be so weird.
So weird.
And I stand by that. Like, knowing how tonight went, I stand by it would have been weird. And I don't think people would have stayed out as late as they did without the live music. I think that it was, like, easy listening music.
Yeah.
So, and there were computers out. Like, people were still, like, going to town.
The thing. There was music, but people still went about having their conversations.
It didn't make it weird. Like, nothing was weird that they had the computer. Like,
it was like having a playlist from our phones on while we were trying to do stuff. It was just
it was.
But added another element that, like,
live music just hits different,
right?
Like,
but
it
was
really just
like camp theme vibe.
And the hair braiding. I started to get nervous that nobody was going to do it, like before I said what was happening. And as soon as I said, Kyla's here to braid hair, one of our attendees goes, I call dibs. And I was like, yes.
Who was that?
Danielle.
Oh, I love that.
She was like, I'm going first. And she did go first.
She did, yeah.
And then at first, like, some people were shy about it. But we had, like...
But by the end, yeah.
Yeah, like, we had a significant amount of people, Allie and I included. And I loved my braids. And I was very proud and very happy about them. So it was a really, really great night. And then tonight... I don't think this happened last night, but tonight we know that attendees went back to common areas and like had a nightcap together, and we went and like said goodnight to them. So to know that they like were hanging felt really cool too. Like that, everything felt great. So I called first full day a success. Do we agree with that?
100%.
And I do want to say, because this is a recap of the day. We had a tragic family emergency from one of our attendees in the middle of...
One of our speakers.
Yeah, one of our speakers. In the middle of the Masterclass, she got some news about a family member and needed to leave as quick as possible. So we rallied, we all stepped up to the plate and are just like sending her love, and we can't imagine what she's going through, but we've both reached out, all of us have reached out to just send our love to her and let her know that the community that we promised her is still waiting for her whenever she's ready to come back into it. So that's day one. And we'll be back tomorrow. Let's go to bed, you guys. I'm
so tired. As my son would say, did it! You just completed another episode of the ARE Haney Show. If you found this helpful, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find this show and so you never miss an episode. Take a look at the show notes for all the resources mentioned in today's episode. Let's continue the conversation over in my private Facebook group, the ARE Haney Show Insiders. See you next Wednesday, and as always, I'm here cheering you on as you build your dream brand and business.